Hey there, and welcome back to It's Just Queen Bee's Thoughts. I'm your host, Queen Bee, and today we're diving into a topic that's really close to my heart, self-compassion. If you've been following this podcast, you already know that recovery is an incredibly challenging journey. We've talked about forgiveness, finding community, and rebuilding trust. But one of the most important aspects of healing, and one we often neglect, is being kind to ourselves. In today's episode, we'll explore what self-compassion really means in the context of recovery. Why is it so difficult to give ourselves grace? And how embracing this mindset can transform the way you approach your healing. Trust me, this episode might just change the way you think about your journey. Before we jump in, I want to take a moment to introduce a song from my Neurodivergent album. It's called It's Okay to Not Be Okay. And it's a reminder that whatever you're feeling, whether it's pain, anger, or fear, it's valid. We don't always have to have it all together, and that's okay. This song was born from my own experiences, navigating the darkest parts of my life, and realizing that healing doesn't mean you're happy all the time. It means you're moving forward, even when things feel impossible. I wrote it with the intention of helping others remember that their struggles are part of the process. I'll play this song at the end of this episode, but for now, let's dive into today's topic, self-compassion. So let's start with a simple question. What is self-compassion? When we talk about compassion, we usually think about how we treat others, being empathetic, understanding, and caring. But what about when it comes to ourselves? Self-compassion is showing yourself that same kindness and empathy, especially when things aren't going as planned. In recovery, we're often our harshest critics. We beat ourselves up over mistakes, over relapses, over not healing fast enough. But the truth is, none of this is linear. Recovery isn't a straight path, and self-compassion is about accepting that and giving yourself room to grow and heal at your own pace. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Self-compassion. That's easier said than done. And you're obviously right. In recovery, it can feel almost impossible to be kind to yourself. After years of addiction, there's often a mountain of shame and guilt that follows. For years, I struggled with the feeling like I didn't deserve to be kind to myself. I felt like I had to punish myself for the things I did in the past. But here's the thing. Shame and guilt are roadblocks to healing. If you're constantly beating yourself up, it's like trying to climb a mountain while carrying a 100-pound backpack. Self-compassion, on the other hand, helps you let go of that weight. It's understanding that while you've made mistakes, you're actively working to become better. And that's something worth celebrating. So how do you start practicing self-compassion when it feels so foreign? It doesn't have to be some grand, overwhelming change. In fact, self-compassion often starts with small, simple actions. For example, I started by changing my inner dialogue. Instead of saying, I messed up again, I'm such a failure, I try to shift that to, I'm doing my best and setbacks are part of the process. It felt awkward at first, but slowly I started to believe it. Another small act of self-compassion was allowing myself to take breaks. During recovery, there were days where all I wanted to do was rest, but I felt guilty, like I wasn't being productive enough. Learning to give myself permission to rest, to breathe, was huge. You can also practice self-compassion by setting boundaries with yourself. Maybe that means limiting your exposure to stressful situations, or simply saying no when you're feeling overwhelmed. These small acts over time add up. Now, there's a common misconception that self-compassion is the same as self-indulgence. People think that if you're being kind to yourself, it means you're letting yourself off the hook, or that you're not holding yourself accountable. But that's not true at all. Self-compassion isn't about ignoring your responsibilities or making excuses for harmful behaviors. It's about acknowledging that you're human, that you make mistakes, and that those mistakes don't define you. In fact, self-compassion can actually lead to more accountability. Because when you're not constantly attacking yourself, you have more emotional space to reflect on your actions in a productive way. You're not drowning in shame, so you can learn from your setbacks instead of being paralyzed by them. Of course, practicing self-compassion isn't always easy, especially when you're going through a tough time. There were days in my recovery when I felt like I wasn't making any progress, when I was angry at myself for struggling. But those are the moments when self-compassion is most important. When you're feeling down, try to remind yourself that healing isn't a race. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to not have everything figured out. Being gentle with yourself in these moments is crucial. I found that journaling helped me a lot during tough times. Writing down my thoughts and then reading them back with a more compassionate perspective helped me see how hard I was on myself and allowed me to shift that narrative. As you continue on your journey, try to look at self-compassion as a part of the bigger picture. It's not just about how you treat yourself today or tomorrow. It's about building a foundation of love and respect for yourself that will carry you through the rest of your life. When you cultivate self-compassion, you're giving yourself the tools to deal with life's challenges without falling back into old habits of self-criticism or even addiction. I believe that self-compassion is one of the most important gifts you can give yourself in recovery. It's the key to long-term healing because it allows you to accept yourself as you are, flaws and all, while still striving to the best version of yourself. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Recovery is hard. It's messy. It's full of ups and downs, and sometimes it feels like you're not making progress at all. But in those moments, remember to be gentle with yourself. You're not expected to be perfect. You're expected to keep going, to keep trying. And every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. In the next episode, we'll talk about relapse, what it means, how to deal with it, and why it doesn't mean you failed. But for now, take some time to practice a little self-compassion. You deserve it. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay strong, stay kind to yourself, and keep moving forward. I'll see you next time.
Lucidic and Queen Bee music.
It's okay to not be okay.
Life
Won't always be this way.
Production.
Saying it now, I don't know how. What the flow will allow. Fast or slow, the river will go. Past can be a trap, get you lost in the gap, take you off the map, drive your mind to a darker side. Don't take the bait to mess with your fate. Use your faith to patiently wait. Don't give in to fear, you're on your way here. I'm right here with you, with a different view. I walked the hard road until I made it home. Ease my pain, a different place, a new time and space. I won't forget your face. Learn to write to any beat and the words you speak. No reason but freedom. It's okay to not be okay. Won't always be this way. I can hear you when you pray. Stop the hurt and end your pain. It's okay to not be okay. Let your thoughts wander, conquer, throw together and foster. Journey through a new memory, every energy. Words you surface, search your purpose. Stop to contemplate, right or left or wait. The other side of who knows best. Jump in, fight against and protest. I want more options against your sin. Stop the outside noise from getting in. Flip this stitch and switch. You think there's a difference? Alcoholic or drug addict, they both restrict, they equip. There's no shame in it. It's more than just a bad habit. I got sick, you were so quick to quit. You acted like I picked it, that I could quickly kick it. It took me years, I forced that pierced, it was fierce.
Production.
It's okay to not be okay. Won't always be this way. I can hear you when you pray. Stop your hurt and end your pain. It's okay to not be okay. Let your thoughts wander, conquer, throw together and foster. When my days are dark, the void's like losing clock. Explore every inch of my mind. How I like fishing, count time in the quiet. You can hear the truth breathe, much needed relief from the screams in the street. She's been bruised and beaten, tears on her cheek, lips bleeding. He's grieving for weeks, leaving her dreams.